things I beg you for, but the lights are off and the bed is made. I'm not the same girl you walked away from. You had the words, you kept them low behind your teeth where I couldn't go. I was asking questions, you were counting days, waiting for a cleaner time to say. I built my patience on your silence, turned your hesitation into trying. Almost every not quite yet. I filed under love, not unfinished yet. I kept the door unlocked for months, stayed up late rehearsing trust, but truth has an expiration date, and yours arrived a season late. Too late to be honest, too late to come clean. I already closed the chapter on everything we could have been. You said the right thing at the wrong end of the night. Too late to be honest, doesn't make it right. Not the words, not the moment, just the wreckage of your timing. All is true, if only you knew it would have meant something when I needed it to. You said you loved me at the airport gate. I had a boarding pass and a leaving date. Said you were scared, said you weren't sure, said all the things I died before. I looked for that version every single night, kept the porch light on, kept picking fights, looking for cracks where the truth might bleed, but you held it hostage while I learned to leave. I made a life out of not knowing, built new ground on where I'm going. You showed up with your open hands, too late for me to understand, too late to be honest, too late to come clean. I already closed the chapter on everything we could have been. You said the right thing at the wrong end of the night. Too late to be honest, doesn't make it right. I keep replaying the moment you spoke, the parking lot, the February cold, words I prayed for finally said, but I'd already buried what they fed. Maybe the truth would have saved us then, maybe I would have tried again, but you gave me silence when it mattered most. Now you're handing me a love that's almost there, almost real, almost everything I used to feel. I held the door for so long it broke. Now you're honest and I'm out of hope. Too late to be honest, the timing killed the cure. I heard every word you said, but none of them could reach me anymore. There was something still alive in me that your silence slowly starved, and by the time you told the truth, I had already moved too far. Too late to be honest, too late to come clean. I already closed the chapter on everything we could have been. You said the right thing at the wrong end of the night. Too to move. Last call, last light, last glass on the table. You got honest when you finally felt able, but Abel came after, Abel came late. Abel showed up at a closing gate. You saved the truth for when the stakes were gone, when losing me cost less than moving on, when the relationship was already ash. You finally spent what you wouldn't cash. I asked you straight through all those careful months. You gave me angles, gave me almost, gave me once, but when there was nothing riding on the answer, you opened up like a reluctant dancer. Honesty that costs you nothing isn't honesty, it's covering. Telling the truth when truth can't hurt you is just a way of staying comfortable. Honest when there was nothing left to lose, when the exit sign was all that you could choose, when my bags were packed and the car was warm. You finally said it after the storm. Honest when then the damage had been done, when the love was over and the race was run. It wasn't brave, it wasn't growth, it wasn't real. Honest when there was nothing left to feel. Now you're true, now you're courage, just to save the ending. All this honesty, if only you knew, it only counts when something's riding on it too. There's a kind of truth that hides behind the wreckage, that shows its face when showing costs you nothing, that walks in clean after the fire's finished and calls itself honest, like it's something. You were fluent when the contract had expired, when my leaving made the truth feel safe to say, but I needed it when silence was the loudest, not at the exit on my way away. I don't want the truth at the finish line, I need it in the middle when there's still time. Honesty without the risk attached to it, it's just confession with no one left to hear it. Honest when there was nothing left to lose, when the exit sign was all that you could choose, when my bags were packed and the car was warm. You finally said it after the storm. Honest when the damage had been done, when the love was over and the race was run. It wasn't brave, it wasn't growth, it wasn't real. Honest when there was nothing left to feel. I keep thinking about the version where you said it, when it mattered, when it cost you something real, when I was still inside it and still asking, when the truth had the power to heal. Maybe courage only comes when pressure's lifted. Maybe you needed the exit to feel free, but I was standing in the fire, asking questions, and you waited till the fire couldn't reach me. Honesty is easy in the rearview when the consequences live in someone else's lane. I needed you to say it from inside it, not from somewhere safe and free of pain. Honest when there was nothing left to lose, when I'd already made the hardest of the moves, when the version of me that needed it had gone. You found your voice the moment I moved on. There was a window where the truth could have changed things, but your words and my waiting could have met. But you saved them for the moment, they meant nothing, and I'm honest enough to say I won't forget. Honest when there was nothing left to lose, when the exit sign was all that you could choose, when my bags were packed and the car was warm. You finally said it after the storm. nothing left to lose anymore. No more courage at the end of consequences. No more confessions in an empty hall. Be honest when it's hard and when it's costly, but don't call it honesty at all. January, you were quiet at the table. I was making plans I didn't wanna make. You had something and you kept it under careful. I was leaving and you watched me for your sake. I packed my things and stayed just so you'd notice. Took the photographs down one by one. Waited at every drawer and every doorway for the sentence that would keep me from being done. You watched me fold the life we'd made together. Watched me carry boxes to the car. And somewhere in your chest you had the answer, but you kept it like a scar. I wasn't gone because I wanted to be. I was gone because the silence set me free. I was leaving through an open door you made. With every word you swallowed and didn't say, I would have stayed if you had said it then. I would have stayed if you said it then. Would have put the boxes down and tried again. Would have stayed through every difficult and hard if you'd handed me the truth before I left the yard. I would have stayed, need you to know that's real. Would have given every broken thing a chance to heal. But you said it to an empty room instead. I would have stayed if you'd said it then. Not the leaving, not the silence, just the words that live between them. All that's staying, if only you knew, was waiting on a sentence you already knew. You called me 3 weeks after I'd unpacked. Said the things I should have meant me coming back. Said you loved me in a way you hadn't named it. Said you'd been afraid and couldn't frame it. I sat on my new floor in my new city, holding what I'd begged for, now too free, too untethered to reverse the direction, too far gone to fit back in that story cleanly. I don't blame you for not knowing how to say it. I blame the silence that you chose instead of trying. I was standing at the door with all my history, and you let me walk into the rain without replying. I would have stayed if you said it then. Would have put the boxes down and tried again. Would have stayed through every difficult and hard if you'd handed me the truth before I left the yard. I would have stayed, I need you to know this real. Would have given every broken thing a chance to heal. But you said it to an empty room instead. I would have stayed if you'd said it then. I keep imagining the version where you stop me, hand on the door, voice finally clear. The box is still unpacked, the car's still waiting, and both of us deciding to stay here. Maybe fear is louder than the love. Maybe the words got stuck behind the fear. Maybe you believed that I would always circle back around and didn't know that leaving meant I'd disappear. But I would have stayed for the imperfect version. Would have stayed for the stumbling and the try. All I needed was the truth before the taxi. All I needed was a reason not to say goodbye. I would have stayed if you said it then, when the hallway still had both our names in it, when the key was still warm from my hand, when there was still a chance you could help me understand. There was a moment at the door that could have saved this, a sentence that could have held the whole thing go. But you saved it for the silence after leaving, and now staying isn't something I can touch. I would have stayed if you said it then. Would have put the boxes down and tried again. Would have stayed through every difficult and hard if you'd handed me the truth before I left the yard. I would have stayed, I need you to know this real. Would have given every broken thing a chance to heal. But you said it to an empty room instead. I would have stayed if you'd said it then. So if you love someone, say it while they're packing. Say it while the boxes still have room. Don't wait until the car pulls out the driveway. Don't save it for an empty afternoon. No more truth delivered to a forwarding address. No more love confessed to someone else's door. Say it while they're standing right in front of you. Say it now, before they can't stay anymore. Summer ending, windows down, your message in a parking lot in someone else's town. 3 years later, there it was, the answer to a question I'd stopped asking because I had rebuilt myself from scratch. Found new rhythms, found the things I lacked. Learned to sleep without the weight of you. Learned to mean it when I said I'm through. Then you sent the thing you should have sent, back when leaving was an accident. All the reasons you were scared to say landed in my hands on an ordinary day. I read it twice and then I read it again, looking for the version of me that needed this then. But she was gone, she'd already made her peace, and the truth arrived to find an empty seat. The truth just a ghost of what it could have been. All this clarity, if only you knew. It came too late for either one of us to use. I wasn't angry, that surprised me most. Just sad for the version of us that almost. The one who might have made it if you'd spoken before I spent 2 years with something broken. I held the phone and read it word by word, every sentence that I needed and not heard. And somewhere in the middle of your explanation, I felt something close to grief without translation. I didn't cry, didn't call you back, just sat with it until the feeling passed. Because the truth that comes too late to change things is just a story with no place to land. The truth found me after I moved on, after I'd stopped saving space for what went wrong, after I'd learned to say your name without the ache, after I'd stopped wondering what it would take. You finally said it, finally let it free, but the person who needed it wasn't me anymore. The truth found me after I moved on, and I didn't know what I was grieving for. I keep the message in a folder I don't open, not because it hurts, but because it doesn't anymore. And that distance is the saddest kind of closing, finding peace with something that once broke you to the core. Maybe you needed years to find the words, maybe the truth takes time to surface and be heard, but I needed it when I was still inside it, when I was asking and you couldn't provide it. And now I have it and nowhere left to put it, like a key for a lock that no longer exists. I'll carry it lightly because I've learned to, but I'll always wonder what we might have missed. The truth found me after I moved on, when the map had changed and the road was gone, when I'd already drawn new lines on new ground, when the echo of your name had lost its sound. There was a version of this that could have saved us, a conversation in a different year, but you kept the truth until I didn't need it, and now it lives in the space between what wasn't here. The truth found me after I moved on, after I'd stopped saving space for what went wrong, after I learned to say your name without the ache, after I'd stopped wondering what it would take. You finally said it, finally let it free, but the person who needed it wasn't me anymore. The truth found me after I moved on, and I didn't know what I was grieving for. So if you're holding something someone needs to hear, say it now, say it while they're still here. Don't wait until they've built a life around the silence. Don't hand them truth when truth can interfere. No more answers after all the questions died. No more honesty delivered after goodbye. Say the thing while it can still do something, before the truth becomes a place nobody lives inside. You said my name like it was finally yours to say. Middle of March, I was already miles away. place. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. When my ears had learned to close before the chord. When I trained myself to brace for the retreat. You finally showed up whole and I was incomplete. You meant it, I believe you meant it true. But I was so far gone from trusting you. You gave me everything I'd asked you for. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. Not your words, not your moment, just a gap, the silence left behind. All the meaning, if only you knew, it landed somewhere I could no longer find. I watched your mouth move through a kind of distance, like watching someone speak behind thick glass. I knew the shape of what you were delivering, but couldn't feel it the way feelings used to pass. I think I loved you in the space before this, when loving you still had a pulsing way. But you gave me silence until silence was my language, and then showed up fluent just a little late. I'm not made of stone, I'm made of history. Every word that came too late or came too slow stacked itself between your meaning and my hearing, built a wall I didn't know was there until you showed. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. When my ears had learned to close before the chord. When I trained myself to brace for the retreat. You finally showed up whole and I was incomplete. You meant it, I believe you meant it true. But I was so far gone from trusting you. You gave me everything I'd asked you for. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. I keep sitting with the cruelty of the time, and how the realest thing you gave me came too late. How I prayed for it in every prior season and received it past the point of being safe. Maybe you needed time to find your footing. Maybe real love takes longer to arrive. But I was asking from a place of still believing, and you answered when I barely kept alive. The version of me that would have taken it dissolved somewhere in the second or the third year. And the you that finally meant it found a stranger, standing where the girl you loved used to be here. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. When the frequency had shifted to the floor. When I stopped rehearsing how I take the news. When I finally found a way to not need you. There was a moment where your meaning could have landed, where the timing and the truth could have aligned. But you held it just past the edge of my believing, and I lost a year for it somewhere down the line. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. When my ears had learned to close before the core. When I trained myself to brace for the retreat. You finally showed up whole and I was incomplete. You meant it, I believe you meant it true. But I was so far gone from trusting you. You gave me everything I'd asked you for. You meant it when I couldn't hear it anymore. So say the real thing while there's still an ear for it, while the person you're saying it to still believes. Don't wait until the silence has done its damage. Don't show up whole after someone learns to leave. No more meaning it when meaning can't be received. No more truth delivered to a heart that's ceased. Say it loud while love still has a pulse to feel it. Say it now before the hearing stops for me. Coffee going cold on the kitchen side. You walked in soft like you had something to hide. Hands in your pockets, eyes on the floor. I'd seen that face maybe once before. You pulled up a chair like the damage was small, like sorry could patch up a collapsing wall. I counted the weeks I spent reading your face, looking for something you kept in a safe. You were careful with silence, careless with me. Gave me your presence, but not what I mean. Every apology landed too clean for someone who knew what that silence had been. I used to rehearse how I'd take it, how I let you in and we'd make it. But standing here now in the after, sorry just sounds like disaster. You said sorry when sorry was useless, when the fire had already gone cold. You said sorry when sorry was toothless, just two syllables nobody could hold. You meant it, I know that you meant it, but meaning it doesn't undo what it cost. You said sorry when sorry was useless, and I stood there and counted what I lost. Not your guilt, not your grief, just the gap between us. Oh, those words, if only you knew, they landed somewhere I couldn't get to. I practiced forgiveness like a second tongue, kept it ready for when you finally came. But forgiveness needs something to hold on to, and you gave me an apology with no name. You said sorry for what? For the days or the nights, for the way that you left every sentence unfinished, for the version of me that kept dimming the lights, or the part where my asking just slowly diminished. I wanted the truth before the apology, wanted the reason before the remedy, but you skipped to the end and left out the middle and handed me sorry like it solved the riddle. You said sorry when sorry was useless, when the fire had already gone cold. You said sorry when sorry was toothless, just two syllables nobody could hold. You meant it, I know that you meant it, but meaning it doesn't undo what it cost. You said sorry when sorry was useless, and I stood there and counted what I lost. I keep hearing it echo in an empty room, sorry bouncing off walls with nothing to do. The word arrived, but the reason never came, and I'm standing here holding an apology with no name. Maybe sorry was all that you had, maybe that's where your language ends. But I needed more than a word in a hallway. I needed the truth before the amends. You handed me closure like a gift receipt for something I never asked you to buy. Sorry without the reason underneath is just a way of saying a quieter goodbye. You said sorry when sorry was useless, when I'd already learned how to leave. You said sorry like it was a beginning, but I was already too far down the street. There was a moment it might have meant something, when the wound was still open and raw, but you waited until I to run.